there, for every student and for every learner, there are two persons, minimum two persons supporting them. That is their parents, the father and the mother. That is to say, 3 out of every 5 person in our country is directly or indirectly is connected with the education and learning. Directly or indirectly, 3 out of every 5 person in our country is directly or indirectly connected with the learning and education. Now just imagine when 750 million people are engaged directly or indirectly in education. When a pandemic like this, COVID-19 hits, it really brings to a standstill the whole education fraternity and the learning that happens in our country. And it has happened not only in India, in our country, but it has happened globally. Schools have been hit. Students were forced not to go to school. And then we had to look for alternative ways of learning. Now, I should really tell you that a large number of schools in our country, though they were hit badly because of coronavirus, at least in our school and a few private schools and some schools in our country, it really took a different turn. And then they discovered, or they upgraded themselves into online learning, and that has really helped the way in which education has been happening. And I should proudly tell you that ours was one school that started the online classes in a very, very serious manner. And we started the online classes on 26th of March for the higher class students and on 16th April for the rest of the school. And in that way, I can assure you that your students, they have lost nothing. Learning has been happening in the most normal and orderly manner. And I want to thank each and every one of you parents for making it possible, because only with the enthusiasm or the school or the teachers, it is rather impossible. But every one of you parents, you have played a very vital and important role in shaping the online classes in our school. You have made available maybe a smartphone, a tab, or a laptop, and that has really helped our students in getting upgraded and going on with their online learning. So I really want to congratulate and thank all of you parents for collaborating, supporting, and standing with the school and also with our children in making the learning possible, even in this unusual time that all of us are experiencing. My congratulations and thanks to each and every one of you parents for being really knowledge driven and being so supportive to our students. And then I also would like to thank all the students. It was not a normal thing, but all the same, the students were really enthusiastic. They were very supportive. They did the homework every day, attended the classes, and in some cases, we could even find that morning 8 o'clock onwards, they were sitting in front of the camera, even wearing their school uniform from morning till afternoon, and then participating in the classes in a very, very active manner. And really, I would like to congratulate the students of class 9 and 10. And then 9 and 10 students, I should really tell you, COVID will pass away. Corona will pass away. There is a lot of research going on. I'm sure a vaccine will be out without much delay. But then the most important thing is that the board examination will not pass away. The board exam is sure to come. And it will come in the month of February or in March. I'm sure it will happen in the month of February. And then that is not very far away. Another only, 6 months are left for the exams to come. And it is definitely to happen. So it is important that the students of class 9 and 10, as you move higher, you take your studies more seriously. Though there is a disruption of coming to the school, but then there is also an opportunity of being at home and making your learning more intense and deep. So I request all of you students to take it more seriously and continue with your studies. Now, before I elaborate anything further, let me introduce our guest speaker of the day, Mr. Anjan Chowdhury. Mr. Anjan, he is not unfamiliar to any of us. Most of you parents, you have seen this person. He is a friend to SFS school, and he is a very brilliant speaker. He has an academy called Skillfinity here in Guwahati, and he is a life skill trainer, professional trainer for politicians, for IAS officers, for bureaucrats, and he has traveled across Northeast and our country and inspiring people. And he has come to our school, SFS Narangi. He has visited practically every SFS school here in Northeast India and even our college in Northeast India. So he is a person who knows the culture, the value system, and he knows the desire and aspiration of every parent as well, because he himself is a great father. And I really know how he takes care of his son and how much he is interested in the future of his son. So Anjan, we are very happy to have you. On behalf of the entire SFS school, I would like to welcome you. So dear parents, let us give a round of applause and welcome Mr. Anjan to our meeting.
Thank you, Father. Thank you very, very much.
So dear Anjan, all the best to you.
Thank you so much, Father. Good evening, parents. Good evening, teachers, whoever are there in the screen. I'm not very tech savvy. Mrinal sir has made me a little aware about how to work on Zoom. I would not be able to see much people who are there in front of us, but I can see Sangyukta ma'am in front of us and my all-time favorite and one of the most handsome mathematics teacher, Sudeep sir. After a long time, that is what I could see back Sudeep sir there. Now, everybody, the parents, every time, Father, I was doing this series of parents meet. And every time Father had said that I'm a brilliant father, that's again a pressure on me to perform even better as a father. But again, the question is to the parents or from the parent sides, ki we are the best parents that we know. The belegajon parent we know it. And which is true. That is very, very true. The parents are the best guides, the best mentors, and the superlative of all the performance and the role plays that you do. That we can well understand. But the bigger issue here, which comes right now, is the kind of upbringing we had been through at one point of time. Ajit Tarikot, when the situation is very different, I'm not talking about pandemic. I'm talking about this era of high-tech affinity. I'm talking about this era of huge competition, cat and mice run. I still remember, more metrico jetia 77% paisilu, star marks loy, to more ghoror homukhot pendel bonai more deutai manuhok mithai khwaisile. Ajit tarikot kunbai 75% loy ahile ghoror pra khedibo. Eta bhal collegeot admission napabo. The time has drastically changed. We can well understand that. But again, the reason that I come in front of you is not as a mentor. I come in front of you is also as a parent, that I could understand few issues of psychotherapy, few issues of psychology. That is what we study in the course of my career. And I thought those tips are not basically unimplementable. The kind of talks that I'll talk, you will all realize, but the issue is introspecting ourselves and finding out, do we actually practice what we actually know? That is the biggest concept. That is the biggest part. Now, while we talk of the 9th and the 10th standard, yesterday the danger zone started from 7 and 8. Syllabuses changes, metamorphosis and transformation of people happens. 9 and 10 is the most crucial era of a human life. I'm not talking about matriculation. I'm not talking about HSLC. I'm talking about the age. I'm talking about the age that has got huge amount of accesses towards many things which we did not have in our lives. Ajit Tarikot, if you strongly believe the kind of accesses our students has got, you will be surprised to understand we were quite illiterates as compared with these kids that we have in front of us today. Amar khomot kosile nohoy, angels comes from the heaven through the windows and drops in babies, and that's how babies comes in. Aru ei bostuto loi ami college ot gosilu. High secondary first year loi we knew that only that angel sends babies through the windows. Ajikali you should go through the CBSE curriculum. Class 7 and class 8 onwards, they know human reproduction. They know adolescence health. and there is no way how you can actually change it. My son studies in the 3rd standard of a school in Guwahati, and the same way I also spoke to my third standard going son, that he asked me, how did I come in from? I said, we booked you in Big Bazaar, and then Big Bazaar has given an offer with 5 kgs of sugar, you come free. And then he said me the other day, you are wrong. That's not the way how I came in. I came from mummy's tummy, and I know it very, very well how I come in. So the situation has drastically changed, and we have to cope up with our oral ways of how we need to connect with each other. Now, dear friends, this is the basic era of how we need to be very careful to become role models of our children. And one big mistake that we had already started from the past or since the past was asking our questions. Bada ho ke kya banega? What will you become when you grow up in life? I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I want to become what he also does not know. He had only responded to the queries as set by the parents. And the parents has instilled one thing in his mind, that I have to become something where I can make my parents happy, not me happy. We have distracted our child's attention from the basic question, what am I going to do that will give me happiness? Imagine a 9th standard and a 10th standard student child comes in front of you and says, Mom, I don't want to study. I want to become a cricketer. My cricketer bat loi khedibota, maribodo. Mom, I don't want to study. I want to study. I want to do music. I want to pursue music. He is not allowed, and she is not allowed. Why? Because the perspective of economic generation is kept at highest priority. The perspective of getting a job is kept at highest priority. Jobs has always superseded with the platform where the plinth, the basics were careers. We've never thought about careers of our children. And 10th standard, we have already started. 9th and 10th, we have already started singing the very famous national anthem. Metric aise kintu oha bosor, metric aise kintu oha bosor kintu metric porikha, oha bosor kintu finals. And we are somehow or the other petrifying our children towards the preparation of a final exam. Believe me, your child will come out with flying colors because of the wonderful academic governance SFS school has got. And I'm bound to say, I have met couple of times, many a times, and I also have quite a bit of professional relationship with the teachers. They're one of the best pool of academicians your children will come across. I'm sure Pawan sir would be there. I'm sure Bipul sir would be there. One of the most humble and the most wonderful human beings that I have come across. These teachers makes the real transformation happen. I'm so jealous of Sudeep sir. I'm so jealous of Bipul sir. I'm so jealous of Pawan sir. These are group of people we never met in our lives. We had the world's most horrible teachers. And looking at the beautiful Sangyukta ma'am, I envy, how could I not have such a wonderful coordinator in our time? During our time, we had coordinators who were sisters, Keralites. Sister Josna is there. I'm sure she's going to put a big penalty on me after that. And we had the worst coordinators. 5 minutes late in the assembly, out, bring your parents tomorrow. No entry in the classes. We were chewing our tiffins after the tiffin was over, and you would be clueless the kind of punishments we got. Amar efale dhori enekwa ke uthai disile, ladies, sisters. But we never had the guts of coming back home and complaining to our parents ki sister e marise, teacher e marise. Imagine Ajit Tarikot. A teacher does that to your child. You are the first person to reach the institution with all human rights activities. Moor bachak attempt to murder hosile ulaya ho. I'll send the teacher to the jail. Now the issue of corporal punishment, the issue of our emotions, the issue of the obsessive nuclear upbringing together has made volatile outcomes to our children. And our children knows they are very, very overprotected. Mummy hai na, bacha legi. Papa hai na, बचा लेगा. एक टीचर ने गाली दिया, पूरा पलटन जाके पहुंचेगा. कौन सा टीचर गाली दिया? आपने किया ऐसा मैंने कभी नहीं बोला. मैंने कहा अक्सर हम लोग देखते हैं, अक्सर हम लोग ये भी देखते हैं कि the kind of language teachers, the kind of language parents uses back at home, and that creates those damages. Now, my dear parents, the basic intention of my point today to discuss with you, with your people, is to again redirect your attention towards one basic dangerous era your child has stepped in. That is peak of adolescence. Now it has started. They're reaching the teens. They started their teens, and adolescence is at peak. Now they want privacy, they want image building factors, and above all, they lack in identity crisis. Ask any of the children, कोई भी चीज करने के लिए जाओ, करूं क्या? नहीं. मूवी देखने जाओ? नहीं. उसका घर में बर्थडे में जाओ? नहीं. मैं आज टीवी देखूं? नहीं. ये पढ़ाई करूं? नहीं. So the parents have started dictating them. At one point of a time, the parents also start thinking, मेरा बच्चा के लिए मैं अच्छा सोचूंगा ना, बाहर के लोग थोड़ी मेरे बच्चे के लिए अच्छा सोचेंगे. Now parents, I have one clarification to be asked from you. Are you basically clinically authorized to dictate these terms and conditions from our children? I have spoken about clinically certified. That means we are not psychotherapists, we are not psychiatrists, and we do not have matrices to gauge at the skills. हमें खुद भी नहीं पता हमारा बच्चा कौन सा सब्जेक्ट में अच्छा है, कौन सा सब्जेक्ट में खराब है. हमको सिर्फ इतना पता है, बच्चा को 90 मिला एक सब्जेक्ट में, बच्चा सब्जेक्ट में अच्छा. बच्चा को 50 मिला एक सब्जेक्ट में, बच्चा उस सब्जेक्ट में गधा. Just that much. And when I ask, अगर 50 मिला, अगर 40 मिला, उसको उभारने के लिए what are the steps we have done? Parents said, एक नहीं तीन ट्यूशन दिया एक ही सब्जेक्ट का. एक ही सब्जेक्ट का ट्यूशन 3 जगह पे जाके बच्चा पढ़ के आता है. Now 3 kind of connections towards one particular module. The child is almost having a cardiac arrest. उसको खुद भी नहीं पता वो पढ़ाई क्या कर रहा होगा. एग्जामिनेशन जाने से पहले दुबला पतला मोटा मर्द औरत हर किस्म के भगवान को प्रार्थना करके जाते हैं कि है ना एग्जामिनेशन का पेपर आसान आ जाए. अब भगवान को प्रार्थना करने से तो एग्जाम का पेपर आसान आया नहीं है. इट ऑल डिपेंडेड on the preparations, which was on a wrong mode. So that's why parents, I would sincerely request all your conduct to come down to a level where this education and the kind of education they're going through should not be meant and felt as a bondage that they're carrying. पढ़ाई करना ही पड़ेगा, मैट्रिक पास करना ही पड़ेगा और फिर उसका चारा भी नहीं है. But that's it. That should not happen. School जाना ही पड़ेगा. I would request all the children to I'll request all the parents to ask their children, are you happy going to schools on Mondays? Imagine Sunday रात को जब आप बोलते रहे जल्दी जल्दी सो जाओ, कल सुबह स्कूल है वापस Monday. So Monday सुबह उठ के ही बच्चा देखते हैं इस कैलेंडर में कोई हॉलीडे है क्या? नहीं है हॉलीडे. अब वो प्रार्थना करने लगता है कोई एक नेता मर जाए, कोई मिनिस्टर मर जाए, we will have one holidays in between. Otherwise तो इस हफ्ते का छुट्टी गया. The same happens with us also as parents. इस हफ्ते में एक भी छुट्टी नहीं है. And imagine when Saturdays and Sundays are off and in the week one day was a holiday, the Saturday remains open. तब हम लोग को और भी खराब लग जाता है. एक तो हफ्ते में बंद कर दिया, सैटरडे को खोल दिया. So we have made it a very unfamiliar issue of a child reaching school with high energy. The बच्चा goes to the school with bondage. जाना ही पड़ेगा, उपाय नहीं है. Henceforth, education becomes a kind of बोझा ढोने का काम का तरह वो करने लगता है. That's not what we had. And very importantly, the period, the era we are in, we have snatched away a child's childhood. The child has never seen a guava tree probably. The child does not know how to cycle properly. हम लोग expensive cycle खरीद के लाके cycling करवाते हैं घर पे मेरे जैसे मोटा इंसान को पतला दुबला बनाने के लिए. लेकिन the problem is we have never given them that childhood what we had in our lives. That's one thing. The most important point on the 4th point is getting them very very busy with gadgets. उसका पूरा का पूरा दुनिया लैपटॉप और मोबाइल फोन में, and he is becoming very very intelligent to cope up with the situations of life, which has got nothing to do with mark sheets, which has got nothing to do with scores. We require life skills to cope up. The certificates he's going to procure is never going to give him a job. Please take my words, document my words. The certificates qualifies him to apply for a job. How he speaks in the interview, how he conducts in the interview is one reason he gets the job. And the second thing is all life skills that he implements while he is in the job. That's why he can stick to the job. वो सिलसिला दिखाने के लिए हम लोगों ने कितना बच्चा को तैयार किया है? That's one major question that we have to ask ourselves right now. That's why parents, the initial ways of how I talk to both the parents is your individual cohesive behavior, which has been reflected to the child. And that's why we emphasize a lot of reflective skills at this point of time from class 9, from class 7 to class 12. The children should be having reflective skills. We, outsiders, the world, should be able to see the reflection of their upbringing. And this reflection of the upbringing cannot be blamed and attributed to the schools. Time and again, I would want to redirect again your attention towards the school premises. मेरा बच्चा स्कूल जाके बिगड़ गया, मेरा बच्चा ये क्लास में आने के बाद में बिगड़ गया, इस सेक्शन में बदमाश से बदमाश बच्चा इकट्ठा रहता है, तभी मेरा बच्चा खराब हो गया. These statements has been spoken, but I'll tell you, all those बच्चाs are yours, everybody yours. हमारे यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं, आप हमारे ही बच्चे हैं. वहां वो लोग जाके has reflected their own upbringing, what they have got from their ecology. One of the basic ecology of their behavioral pattern definitely is school. But tell me one thing, friends, स्कूल का एक टीचर एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाने के लिए 40 मिनट टाइम ले लिया. अब এই 40 মিনিট সময় লৈ এই টিচারে নৈতিক জ্ঞান শিকাব, নৈতিকতা শিকাব, মরাল ভ্যালুজ শিকাব, সাবজেক্ট অ্যানালাইসিস কৰিব, সিনথেসিস কৰাব, ইভালুয়েশন কৰিব, নি কি কৰিব? How do we blame our teacher before we have started to think? I did not say blame ourselves. I said start to think and introspect. Did I do my jobs well? How was my language back at home? What was my conduct as a parent back at home? And when I talk about parents, I talk about both the parents, the mom and the dads, both. My words might seem to be very harsh, but this is not from my only personal experience, but we have seen from people around us. The major contribution of a child's upbringing has always been the mother. The father is definitely there, vitally, he's there financially, economically, both the people supports each other. But the father's contribution in day-to-day development, molecular development is somehow or the other absent. बचपन से देखना, आप लोग किसी के घर में गए, बच्चा ने बदतमीजी किया, पापा ने सबसे पहले आके मम्मी को बोलता है, यही सिखाता रहता है कि सारा दिन घर पे बैठ के ये बच्चा इतना बदतमीज कैसे बन गया है, don't you check back what he does? And the child grows up knowing that his sole and whole property of governance back at home could be either dad or could be either mom. और एक डेंजरस चीज रहा है हमारी जिंदगी में बचपन से, we have asked our children, बच्चा किसको ज्यादा प्यार करता है, तुम मम्मी को या पापा को? बच्चा said पापा को, and the mom is very angry. या तो बच्चा said मम्मी को, and the papa is very angry. We have put up these wrong questions in the upbringing process, and the child knows there is the distinction between the two characters. And the bigger problem is the family's child ego transaction that we all suffer from. The mom would never be able to handle. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about general parents. गुस्सा करके मुझे गाली मत दीजिए आप लोग, लेकिन मैं ये चीज कहूंगा कि मॉम ने हमेशा जब लगाम से बाहर छूट गया तो बोला रुक, पापा को आने दे, फिर मैं पापा को कंप्लेन करूंगी. मतलब the mom has elevated the issue to the father, and the father is the supreme character to come and hold the judgment. And the child sits in the judgment katgara, papa ne jo bola wahi hoga. And henceforth the child feels humiliated. Reprimanding and humiliation karte karte ek cheez hamara haath se nikal ke chala gaya, that the child was also an adult. The adult ego constituent in the child was also there. Uske andar mein bhi ek adult ka इज्जत था जिसको हम लोगों ने कभी दिया नहीं है. बचपन से देखेंगे, गेस्ट हमारे घर में आएंगे तो कोल्ड ड्रिंक शीशे के ग्लास में हम लोग सब गेस्ट को देते हैं, बच्चा के लिए एक स्टील का ग्लास लेके देते हैं, क्योंकि ग्लास तोड़ेगा और ग्लास फोड़ देगा, सेट बिगड़ जाएगा. हम लोगों ने ये कभी नहीं सोचा द चाइल्ड फील्स ह्यूमिलेटेड, द चाइल्ड फील्स इंसल्टेड. यही बच्चा आगे जाके बड़ा होके डू नॉट नो हाउ टू टेक अप डिसीजंस, उसमें आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस होना शुरू हो जाता है. कमिंग बैक टू द वाइटल पॉइंट ऑफ योर adolescence health right now, this is I do not know whether I am allowed and authorized to speak these because there are children in front of us, but let's face what I had to speak, because all these kids also knows that the basic elements in their body has started transforming and changing. Now, adolescence is at the peak where sexual hormones has come down, and there is the slightest of mistake might slip in the child to an erroneous genre. That would be very, very wrong. The teachers knows that perspectives very well. Now let's come back to the parents. The parents would never ever realize that the child has started growing up with two kind of demands unset. He has not demanded that. One is his biological demand, that is, growing up according to the age, and with that metamorphosis is the साइकोलॉजिकल डिमांड. उसका दिमागी हालात और उसका शारीरिक हालात एक साथ कॉम्पैटिबिलिटी में आया है अभी, और उसके अंदर में कई सारे जरूरतें महसूस होंगे जिसके लिए उसको खाली छोड़ना, अकेला छोड़ना, स्पेस देना वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. While you talk about the space chona, very important, we need to also understand to instill basic essential skills right now. We would have very less amount of time. These are very vast and vivid topics I would not be able to say. But before we put on to the points of essential skills, dear parents, I would request both the parents to understand, sit together, plan your behavioral activity, behavioral productivity, which will be the consequence of your child's behavior from now onwards. The social constitution of your child starts from this age. Whatever he does in his behavioral pattern is absolutely because of you. Now we have seen the dad would be very abusive at times towards the mom, or towards any of their relatives, or towards even a rickshaw puller, or even towards a vegetable vendor. The child understands this is the way how I exercise power. So to achieve power, my abusive language or profanities will bail me out. And that's what he practices in his real life too. Second, slapping, hitting children right at this present moment gives him the chance to react the same way when he is angry, because he has seen while you are angry, you behave this way. So he takes it parliamentary. He feels when he is angry, he is authorized to slap somebody. He is authorized to use profanities to somebody. And henceforth, he is a reflection and an outcome of our all activities back at home. Now, many of the parents might think, "Aap itna bada lecture marta rehta hai, aap ghar pe bhi aise hi cheez karte hai kya?" No, perhaps, because I am also a parent then. I am also full of mistakes. But till the time we can implement the best of what we can do, keeping in mind about one thing, the priority is the outcome that we are throwing in the society outside. Tomorrow, when your child comes out as a wonderful human being, people appreciates not the school, but you. Uska beta itna kiya, uska beta waisa kiya. Nobody is going to say, Sangyukta ma'am strict coordinator thi, iske wajah se bachcha acha ban gaya. Never ever. स्कूल के दौरान में संयुक्ता मैम को जितना भी श्राप देना होता है आप लोग देते रहिएगा. But remember one thing, she does it only for the betterment of your child. ये हम लोग का एसएफए स्कूल का कोऑर्डिनेटर है ना, बहुत विकेट है, बहुत खराब है. एक चीज बोलो तो 10 चीज सुना देती है. But she is doing it for your child. She is doing it for your child. The problem is, अगर हमारे दौर में एक ऐसे ग्रुप के टीचर्स आ जाए कि हमारा बच्चा को गाली ना दे, तो होगा क्या? कुछ साल बाद पुलिस, लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आ जाएगा हमारा बच्चा को सुधारने के लिए, and that will be very dangerous. So संयुक्ता मैम का गाली सर आंखों पे, but let the police not come up and correct. If Father George comes in and puts up a complaint for a betterment, that's a feedback on the basis of how we can develop. The reason is they are speaking to develop our child, improve our child. Keeping in mind that factor can be a wonderful, understand the child has grown up in that ramparts of the school. The school is like a halo. It has a light. The moment they enter inside, they have goosebumps all over. I feel it the same when I even cross my school. Looking at the school gates, looking at the school building, I smell the bananas and the bread and butter toast mixed together that used to happen in our classrooms. The moment I look at Sister Josna, I remember my coordinators, how strict they were. So this is how the facets and the connectivity of the school remains in the child. Along with it, there are few essential skills we need to invigorate in our children today, right now. Parents, there are problems in all of our lives because of the nuclear family concept. Advantages and disadvantages are immense. Let's go and talk down to a joint family structure. when from outside we see that the joint family structure is advantageous because the manpower is more, people coming down to rescue at times of danger is more. That's true. But I've come across joint families where people has not been very happy in the process of rearing up their children. So everywhere we have found out barricades of development of our child. But the good news is all the parents were very, very concerned about the child's development. Now, when you talk about the child's development, parents, please ask yourself, relax and ask, what is that you're looking from your child in the developmental strategy? The mark sheets, the scores, the performance in the classrooms, or coming out in the life as a good human being, which is what you require. I am absolutely okay with even a 3rd division marks if my son comes out to be a good human being. I think that's what it all matters. I have put up a write-up in my Facebook today. Congratulations to all the 2nd division and 3rd division holders, because no one is wishing them. Everyone is busy, the star rank holders. Congratulations to the 2nd divisions and the 3rd divisions, because they know now success has a different definition. Despite of the mental battle they fought, and they at least scored 2nd division and 3rd division. They're wonderful people. They did not commit suicide. They have not terminated lives. They came out successful. So let us appreciate failures. Otherwise, what will happen? Our children will not know how to handle failures. We have seen the best of the people, the most successful of the people do not know crisis management. Now, I have never meant to say कि आपका बच्चा फेल किया, बहुत अच्छा किया, प्रोत्साहित करते रहिए और फेल करो. That's what I have not said. But I said, अगर बच्चा को कम मार्क्स मिला, fine. Let me ask you one thing, parents. अगर मैं आज आपको पूछूं, मैट्रिक में आपको साइंस में कितना मार्क्स मिले थे? Do you remember? You have forgotten? Tell me honestly. I ask you, मैथ्स में आपको कितना मार्क्स मिला था? सोशल स्टडीज में कितना मार्क्स मिला था? एक जमाने के बाद में we will forget also. कितना मार्क्स मिला था? I don't know. Even if I ask Father George right now, Father, what was your score during the matriculation examinations? He will say, perhaps Anjan, I have forgotten, because that is of no use today. Today, I have got this coveted platform to talk to these wonderful and magnificent parents in presence of the principal. But Father has never asked me my mark sheets. And I should tell you, I was not a very good student. Including you. आप भी बहुत अच्छे students नहीं थे. जितना expectation बढ़ गया बच्चों का. और बोलते हैं अगर इतना नंबर नहीं मिला बच्चा को एडमिशन उस कॉलेज में नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या हुआ, बच्चा कहीं ना कहीं और पढ़ लेगा. हाउ डज इट मैटर? मेरा बच्चा लाइन के आगे में ही रहना पड़ेगा. नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन टू बी मीडियोकर. लुक एट मी. There are hundreds and millions and thousands of people like me, very mediocre students, very, very mediocre students. I happened to go to school. I did my master's from Bombay University. Once when I came down back at home, I saw my academic profile. In that academic profile, my mother had archived all the mark sheets from nursery to class 10. Now, nursery to class 10, I studied for 13 years. 13 years, and during our time, we had 3 examinations. First term, half yearly, and finals. So in a span of 13 years, I had to give 39 exams. So I was looking back at those mark sheets during my master's, and I saw the remarks column. Remember the remarks column? Teacher jo dil khol ke ekdam likhte rehte na bachcha ke bare mein, that remarks column. In that remarks column, I found different teachers has written different statements. But all the teacher has also written one statement which was very common. All the teachers wrote, Anjan, very good in studies, will do even better, perform even better, more concentration required, whatever they wrote. And they gave a comma and they said, but very, very talkative in the class. 39 times, all the teachers wrote that I was very, very talkative in the class. My parents used to go for parents meeting and used to beat me black and blue. Itna baat kyun karta rehta hai? How do you talk so much? Why do you talk so much? The teachers used to say, ye itna baat karta hai class mein, mera class lena mushkil kar deta hai. My relatives used to say, Anjan बैठ गया तो मतलब tape recorder चालू, गाना बजाने का जरूरत नहीं है, constant बात करता रहता है. I was thinking those things and I realized everybody has said I can talk. My parents also said I can talk. Teachers has written, stamped in my mark sheets that I can talk. So why can't talking become my profession? I thought, and I went back to Mumbai and again I qualified myself in ISTD. international standard of training and development. And for 2 decades, 25 years now, I constantly talk and I earn money. Each and every minute I talk, I earn money, for which I do not have a qualification, for which I do not have a certificate. The skills needs to be respected more than the mark sheets. What has been in my matric, what has been in my graduation? I'm a botany graduate. I took up major in botany. दुनिया भर का घास, पत्ता, chemistry, बदबूदार चीज पढ़ के I became an animal जिसका कोई implementation नहीं है मेरा जिंदगी में. मेरा जिंदगी में एक ही चीज का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन आया, मेरा कौशल का, मेरा स्किल का, और उसके साथ में मेरा पढ़ाई का कोई ताल्लुकात नहीं. Nothing. And today, wherever I am, in the small place, wherever I am, with a little bit of regard and respect, I am only identified because of my skill. इतना छोटा सा आज की उम्र में, छोटा सा मतलब बुढ़ा तो नहीं बन गया, इतना सा उम्र में twice I was nominated for the President's Award for Global and Vocational Excellence Award in terms of innovative training, is all because of talking. Now I, as a very mediocre student जो geography subject में हर साल fail करता ही था, I could be there in front of you today. So how do you think your children is going to fail in their lives? They are superstars, born superstars. The problem is us. मेरा बच्चा का बेस्ट फ्रेंड से ज्यादा मार्क्स लाना पड़ेगा. पड़ोसी का बच्चा और मेरा बच्चा एक ही स्कूल में जाता है, पड़ोसी का बच्चा से मार्क्स मेरा बच्चा का ज्यादा आना चाहिए होगा. अगर ज्यादा नहीं आया, मेरा पड़ोसी के साथ में बातचीत बंद. दिस इज व्हाट वी आर. और फिर अगर ऐसा रहा और यही रवैया रहा, द बच्चा अंडरस्टैंड्स दोस वैल्यूज वेरी वेरी केयरफुल, माने वेरी वेरी इंस्टेंटिकली वो लेता रहता है. सो बेसिकली पेरेंट्स, वी टॉक अबाउट एसेंशियल स्किल्स. टाइम बहुत कम रहेगा हमारे पास में. While we talk of essential skills, the first skill that we need to make the child understand is problem solving ability. अब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एबिलिटी क्या है उसका लेक्चर मैं आपको नहीं दूंगा, सिर्फ यही बोलूंगा, मम्मी एंड पापा, बोथ ऑफ यू, whenever you have problems in your life, manage it in the way how it gets reflected to your child. वो भी वही चीज करेगा in his crisis timing. Make the child understand and realize there is no problem in our life. कोई भी एपिसोड आया हमारा जिंदगी में which we could not tackle, उसका नाम हम लोगों ने प्रॉब्लम दिया है. Problems does not come to our lives as problem. Problems का नामकरण हमने किया है. I was unable to handle the issue and I named it problem. दूसरा चीज, प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन है तो चिंता करके कोई फायदा नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन नहीं है तो भी चिंता करके फायदा नहीं है. सो ऑटोमेटिकली हम लोग एंगर मैनेजमेंट जानेंगे. गुस्सा उठने से ही जो हम लोग बिहेवियर निकालते हैं, वी डॉक्यूमेंट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ आवर चिल्ड्रन. उसका जब गुस्सा उठेगा वही सब चीज करेगा, और वो करेगा, वो गारंटी के साथ में बोल रहा हूं, वो करेगा ही करेगा. I'll tell you something. A class 7 to class 10 standard child goes down to a school by a BMW car or an SUV vehicle, and he does not know what is a local transport. He does not know what is a school bus. He does not know what is a shared transport. The bacha is disconnected from realistic approaches of life. Tomorrow he'll not realize your problems because he's not rooted to the basics. That's what we had done. मेरा तो एक ही बच्चा है. BMW गाड़ी क्यों? हो सके तो मैं ट्रक में या बस में भेजूंगा मेरा बच्चा को स्कूल में. So the bacha understands isolation. It is not class nomenclature. It's isolation. So we have not made him one amongst the mass. That's what is the first criteria. The second criteria, and the last one, before the last one, is what is called pliability. We need to make our children adaptable towards any circumstances. आज घर में खाने का कुछ नहीं है तो हम लोग सादा खाना खाते हैं, दाल चावल. आज घर में आज ये प्रॉब्लम आया है, so let us not do it. मुझे इस महीने में वो चीज चाहिए था, इस महीने में पापा का थोड़ा सा दिक्कत है, let us wait for some time and after that we'll give that. Pliability is making the child's psychology adaptable towards any and every situation so that his demands comes minimal. मेरे पास में एक आश्चर्य चीज क्या होता है, क्लास 10 से क्लास 12 के पेरेंट्स आ जाते हैं और बोलते रहते हैं, सर मेरा बच्चा मोबाइल छोड़ता नहीं है, उसका हाथ से मोबाइल छुड़वाइए. तो मैं बोलता हूं, सर मैंने तो दिया भी नहीं था, दिया था आप लोगों ने, अब छुड़वाइए आप लोग. Now one child going to class 7, class 8, class 9 and class 10 do not require a 50,000 rupees mobile that a child carries in today's world. आप मेरे सामने में अगर आप लोग बोलते हैं कि मेरा बच्चा लेके नहीं जाता, आई एम ब्लेस्ड टू मीट अ पेरेंट लाइक यू, बट आई मीट हंड्रेड्स एंड हंड्रेड्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स जिसका बच्चा के पास में 50,000 रुपए का मोबाइल रहता ही है. And that's what is the beginning of battles that we outsiders, the whole world, needs to fight. The last thing that we have to instill in our child at this juncture of high peak of adolescence is the art of collaboration. As much as possible, the atmosphere and the ecology at home has to be conducive. Moms, be very careful about using any language about your mother-in-laws, in-laws, or relatives. Dads, be very careful about the feedback that you give to your wife's meal. दाल में नमक क्यों है? ये कितना घटिया खाना बना है, इस बार खाया नहीं जा सकता. चाय इतना खराब क्यों बना है? So the child knows how to not have the art of appreciation. That is very, very important. And last, before I leave, I have been advising it to everybody. Adolescence speaks about matured respect and regard of the opposite genders, both the genders. I would request parents ensure your cohesive relationship has to be reflected in front of the child. Like at least the dad goes down to the kitchen and prepares a cup of tea for the mom. At least the child understands this is what. Now the dad says, "मुझे तो रसोई का काम आता ही नहीं है." So you learn it. Otherwise, your child will not learn it. He will do the same there also. The dads, when you get up from your bed in the morning hours, please make the bed back. And it is not the duty of the wife. Constitution का किसी भी पन्ने में नहीं लिखा हुआ है घर का काम सिर्फ औरतें ही करेंगे, मर्द नहीं करेंगे. ये सिलसिला अगर हम लोग अपना घर पे नहीं लाएंगे, the child will never know mutual respect. While he gets into a relationship later and a family later, his behavioral attributes will all be the same. Please ensure that after dinner, the dad needs to actually go back to the kitchen and make the kitchen clean with the help of the children. That's how the child will understand manual skills. The child will understand physical skills. And very importantly, he will know how to respect the opposite gender. Moms and dads, जब गुस्सा उठेंगे, बाथरूम के अंदर में जाके, छत पे जाके, बाहर जाके झगड़ा कीजिए, लड़ाई कीजिए. बच्चों के सामने में कभी भी नहीं. The reason is, बच्चा will know जब आपका गुस्सा उठते हैं, spouses के साथ में कौन सा एट्रीब्यूट डालने से डोमिनेट किया जा सकता है. He is in an absolute cementing process now. Whatever he learns it forever. बाकी अगला जिंदगी में अगला 17 साल तक, माने नेक्स्ट अगला 7-8 साल तक वो सिर्फ पढ़ाई करेगा और सर्टिफिकेट लाएगा. उसमें उसका लाइफ स्किल्स बिल्कुल भी नहीं बनेगा और वो सर्टिफिकेट का दुनिया में बिल्कुल और बिल्कुल कोई वैल्यू नहीं. मेरा बात सुनेगा तो बच्चा लोग बहुत खुश हो जाएगा, बोलेगा इस बार मैट्रिक में फेल करेगा तो नो प्रॉब्लम, ये आदमी मुझे बचा लेगा. मैंने ऐसा नहीं कहा. I've never said that, but I've said one thing: the certifications and the qualifications that will come to us in the long run from now onwards is purely an adequate qualifiable package. मतलब ये सर्टिफिकेट लेगा तो मैं वो फलाना जॉब में अप्लाई करने के लिए आई एम क्वालिफाइड. Otherwise, I do not have the basic qualification to live a life. हस्बैंड को बीवी के साथ में रहने के लिए हमको ग्रेजुएशन का सर्टिफिकेट या एमबीए नहीं चाहिए, हमें लाइफ स्किल्स चाहिए. ऑफिस में काम करने के लिए बॉस के साथ में क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं चाहिए, लाइफ स्किल्स चाहिए. प्रिंसिपल के साथ में इतने सारे टीचर्स जो काम करते हैं वो अपना सब्जेक्ट के बारे में बात नहीं करते, लाइफ स्किल्स इस्तेमाल करते हैं. And that's one thing that SFS school has pioneered in the process of bringing this online system of education. लॉकडाउन होने के साथ these people thought ये लंबा जाएगा, let's not waste the time. By the time SFS has come half of the journey, many of the coveted schools have started thinking शायद अपने को भी करना पड़ेगा, and we'll also have to do it. So that's why they have run out of the long game. Parents, my idea here was not to malign your reputation or to say you are a bad parent. You are wonderful human beings. The only problem is your child equally has to be as good as you are. The only fact is inspection and introspection. और अगर करेक्शन का जरूरत था, बिल्कुल करेक्शन. सिर्फ एक चीज माथा में डालना पड़ेगा, आपको भी बच्चों को भी आप डालिए कि अगर मार्कशीट्स खराब आया, you love them the same way. बच्चा को जब आप 10th का फाइनल्स के लिए बिठाएंगे ना, जब छोड़ने के लिए जाएंगे, तभी भी जाते वक्त एक बार बोलिएगा, even if you fail, even if you score less amount of marks, dad will love you the same way as we used to love. So you don't have any problems in life. Even if you do not pass out this year, we will appear for the next 3 years. I'll sit with you together and I'll handhold you. This is your moral responsibility. That's the way how I think children gets trust and believe upon them. अगर बच्चा को लग गया कि उसका घर में गब्बर सिंह है, विलेन है, फेल करेगा तो घर में धुलाई होगा, बच्चा will learn to protect and defend himself through মিছা কথা. তেতিয়াই আৰম্ভ হয় মিছা বস্তুবোৰ. I think this is not enough, but that much is the time which has been given to us. I'm hopeful that we will meet again if the pandemic is over. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to meet you all people physically. Online में कितना मुश्किल मुमकिन हुआ है that I don't know. But जाने जाते जाते, I will always request only one thing to be careful about your child's upbringing. That you are one of the best parents. That we all know, but you have to also bring out one of the best child out of your family, because the best human being will contribute his superlative and best in the society tomorrow. We are waiting for that. The responsibility of the future of this nation is in your child's hands. आज मैट्रिक के रिजल्ट के बाद में मेरा एक दोस्त ने लिखा, anybody who has got good scores, please take up science immediately and get the vaccine of pandemic. So that's what we expect from our children. I sincerely wish all the very best of luck to happen to your children and to you all people. If we happen to meet across again very soon, I would be blessed to be a part of this wonderful get together and magnificent experience that Father has always given me. Till then, take very good care of yourself, stay home and stay safe. Thank you very, very much. Over to Sangyukta ma'am.
Thank you, Anjan sir. A round of applause from all the parents for such a beautiful, inspiring words of Mr. Anjan Chaudhary. Thank you, sir, once again for sparing some time and making us aware about the reality of our lives and the parenting strategies that we must adopt. I'm sure our parents can relate to most of the problems that we discussed today. I feel now we should try to introspect more, react less, and maybe follow the path, the right path, not the easy path while dealing with our children. Let us all hold their hands in a more compassionate way to develop important life skills in them so that they can rise and shine. Thank you once again, sir, on behalf of the entire Desalite family. Thank you for sparing your time. Thank you. Over to you, Father.
Thank you, Sanyukta, and thank you, Anjan sir, for giving a beautiful message in this evening. I am inspired, and I am sure the parents are inspired, and I am all the more sure that the students are inspired really today, because some of the things that you said, it should really give them energy, not to study, but probably they think a second division and a third division will bring them a lot of happiness. So thank you, Anjan. Nice to have listened to you, and all the best to you. Now, parents and students, some of the things what Anjan said, please keep it in your mind. And some of the things what he said, you should forget. And I'll tell you the reason why you should forget some of the things that he said. First of all, Anjan said, today SEBA result is out, and he congratulated students who got second division and third division. And then, that's something really great. Those who get second division, third division, they are also wonderful students who come from good families, and we really join in their happiness. And to that extent, we even congratulate the students who failed in the exam, because they also tried their best probably, and they failed. And failure is not a bad thing. Failure is good. What is really important is your effort. Now, I would congratulate all the students who get the second division and third division. I will congratulate all the students who fail in the examination. But before that, one question I have. And the question is this: did you give your 100%? Did you try your very best? Did you do everything that is within your capacity to ensure that you get a good result? After having given your 100%, after having done everything within your capacity, to study, to work hard as a student, if you fail in the examination, that is fine. If you get a third division, that is fine. If you get a second division, that too is fine. But the question is, did you give your 100%? And if you have not given your 100%, and if you get a third division, I won't be the one to congratulate in any case any one of you. I hope that is very clear. And not only me, I'm sure even your parents would not be the people to congratulate you if you get a third division after that you have not given your 100%. So dear students, SFS school, failure is fine, second division is fine, whatever you get is fine, but then please give your 100%. Work hard, get up early in the morning, and that is my suggestion to all of you on this day. Till class 8, I did not tell the students to get up early in the morning because I know they are very enthusiastic. They will get up early morning. From 8 o'clock, they are in front of the laptop or camera or whatever it is. They are ready for the class. But from class 9, I know that is not the case. If I come visit your families at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm sure some of you, we may have to pull you out of your blanket, or since it is summer, you know, where blanket is not required. But then I'm still sure some of you will be resting on your beds. It is very important that you really use this time of Corona, this COVID time, use your time properly and take your studies seriously. Normally, when the month November comes, students of class 10 and class 12, they always come with a question. And the question is this: Father, when will we get study leave? And this is a question all of them raise from the 1st of November. Father, when will we get study leave? Other schools got study leave. Now, this year, I hope you want to come with that question: Father, when will we have study leave? You are having your study leave from the month of March, April, May, June, July. And if everything goes well, probably even August will also be a study leave for you. And I request everyone, please take your studies very, very seriously. And I would like to repeat what I told you in the beginning. COVID will go away. Corona will disappear. A vaccine will be out and we shall defeat them. But the CBSE board examination will not go away. It might be adjusted and a few days might be adjusted. The syllabus may be adjusted. Maybe instead of the 100%, they will make it 80%. But please know it. The process of exam will happen. You will have to sit for the examination. There will be all the processes of going through that exam. And finally, the evaluation will happen. The result will be declared. And that time, Corona will not help you. When the result comes, Corona is not there to help you. It is not there to support you. And that time, you will have to hold the certificate in your hand, and probably no use of blaming anyone. No use of blaming neither your parents nor the government, and no one is going to stand by you at that point of time. So dear students, here we are all here to support you. Every one of us, teachers and students. And I know the amount of hard work that is put in by our teachers to ensure that your study goes normally as it used to be. And I can assure you that our teachers have given not 100%, but beyond 100% in ensuring that you get the best of the best available, that you lack nothing because of COVID-19. Because as I told you, probably ours was one of the first schools that started the classes. And it was not a class that started just for namesake, just to spend some time. It was a serious engagement with the students, with all intentions and purposes that you should score well and you should get a good mark in your examination. And it is very important for your future, because your board examination will come only once in your lifetime. It won't come a second time unless you fail in the exam. And when you do something for the first time in your life or once in your lifetime, you need to give your best. Your best shot is important. The best possible for you, you need to pull out of your life and then give it, so that the best in you comes out and you are able to come out with the best result possible. So my earnest request to all the students is this: work hard, stay calm, stay safe, all that is fine, but then use your time effectively. And it will start by getting up early in the morning. Minimum by 8 o'clock, please ensure that you are ready for your classes, be it a Zoom class, be it be it WhatsApp, be it YouTube, whatever be the platform that is used by the teacher, please ensure that you are there early morning at 8 o'clock onwards, ready for your studies. You get enough and more rest today. You need not to come to the school, rather school is coming to you. Instead of the bus is taking you to the school, or instead of your parents taking you to the school is coming to you. It is right at your doorstep. What is important is to open the door of your house, open the door of your heart, and allow knowledge, allow school, allow teachers to enter into your life, so that real knowledge happens to you day after day. So my congratulations to every one of you for whatever you have been doing, and special thanks to our teachers. And I can tell you, it is not ordinary effort that they have put in, extraordinary effort. And you know, teachers at this age of their life, they have upgraded themselves with better technology, probably better than the students themselves, I can assure you, because the amount of time that they have spent. And also I can tell you, it is not only the teachers who are involved in teaching today. Every member of the family of the teacher is involved in teaching you today. When they do the recording, they can't do both. They have to take the class, and the recording doesn't happen automatically. And in most cases, it is the members of their family, maybe husband, wife, grandfather, grandmother, we don't know. But then someone in the family is even helping them to record, so that everything reaches the students on time and it all happens well. So please be grateful to your teachers. Please open the vista of your heart and ensure that the true learning happens to you each and every day. So thank you, dear teachers, for all the efforts that you put in. And I request all of you parents and students, please give a special round of applause to our teachers, because they really deserve it for what they have done. So please give a round of applause. And then parents, please ensure that your students are having a good smartphone. I'm not asking you to give a 50,000 rupees smartphone, definitely not. But then please give them a smartphone which they can really use for their studies. A smartphone or a tab or a laptop. And laptops are available, which is not very expensive. So please provide them with something so that their learning happens. And that is very important. And please also know it for sure that your children have lost nothing because of Corona. We have beaten Corona. And be sure about it that Corona, we have outlived Corona, we have outlived the COVID, and we have beaten it, and we shall continue to beat so. And normal regular classes happen as it used to be. The chapter test examinations are going and happening regularly. Dieselite Fiesta, cultural competitions are happening as it is. Morning speeches, it happens. Presentations. And now the PT1 examination will happen. PT1 examination will happen from 15th of July till 22nd of July. And it will happen for 40 marks for every student. Questions will come to you. You will have to appear for 1 hour 15 minutes examination every day. And then you will have to upload the answer script, and the teachers will give you the result. The timetable will be out in 2 days' time. And then you will have your summer holidays from 28th to 15th of July. Till 28th classes will happen. And then you will have the summer holidays. And it will also be a kind of study leave again for you. So I request everyone, if you have lost something during the last 2 months, please ensure that you get the notes back, study, let it happen. Everything in SFS school will happen as it used to be. Nothing is going to be lost. Nothing will be diverted. Everything will happen as it used to be. And we do it all for your sake and for your good. And then please know it that you are in safe hands. You are in safe hands, and your learning shall be happening, and we shall ensure that the school is sanitized. As and when government gives us the permission to open the school will be sanitized. The best of the precautions, the best of the healthcare, the best of the facilities available in Guwahati shall be ensured in the school as well. And then if anything happens beyond that we leave to God. But then otherwise, the best of the possible things shall be ensured. that the school happens, the school goes normally and everything happens in the best way possible. So once again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Anchan. Thank you to Sanyukta Miss. Thank you to all the coordinators. Thank you to our Vice Principal, Sister Josna. Thank you to the entire SFS back office who has really worked hard for the last few weeks to ensure that the parents meeting happen. And thank you to all the parents. Nice to see all of you sitting together with your family members, sitting together and listening to a talk. And I'm sure it gives us it makes us think that we may have to arrange some parents meeting in this way, maybe once in twice a month or something, with some parents, not parents meeting, some parents training, maybe on Sundays. I believe that would be a good time. And I request everyone to be part of it as and when we, arrange it. And these are the good things of Corona, Probably we could never think about using this kind of technology and the platform early, but then Corona has helped us in this way. So we will definitely be having some parents training in the days to come. So once again, thank you so much. Good night. God bless everyone. God bless SFS. God bless our students. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Father. So I would request all of you to rise for the school anthem before we conclude today's session. Arif sir, the school anthem.
Source of true wisdom. You are the champion of God's kingdom. You are the source of true wisdom. Christ, you are the radiance of dispel lights. Dispel the shades of avidya. Dispel the shades of avidya. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Om Safas Jaya Jaya Hey. You brighten the way to God and human, to spread the light of Christ and love. You brighten the way to God and human, spread the light of Christ and love. You teach the truth of Christ and wisdom. This world time your vision and mission. This world time your vision and mission. Asatoma
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you.